Hi, everybody. Good morning. Hope you and yours are safe and well. Let's jump right into the parsha. But before we do that, I wanted to acknowledge that today is a very solemn day in the Jewish community and on the American historical landscape. Today is 4 years since the Tree of Life gun violence massacre in Pittsburgh. This is the worst attack on the Jewish community in American history. I want to make sure that we say the names of those we lost and dedicate our Torah learning and our activity, our advocacy, our work in their honor and in their memories. So on this day 4 years ago, we lost these souls who had gathered together in prayer. Joyce Fienberg, Richard Gottfried, Rose Mallinger, Jerry Rabinowitz, Cecil Rosenthal and his brother David Rosenthal, Bernice Simon, Sylvan Simon, Daniel Stein, Melvin Wax, and Irving Younger. May their memories be for a blessing. We have a lot of work ahead of us, friends, and what we do today matters. How we carry our memories, painful and beautiful, forward matters. And it is a tree of life. Eitz chaim him lemacha zikim ba. It is a tree of life to all those who hold fast to her. All who support her find joy. Drachea darchenom v'chol netivotea shalom. Her ways, the Torah's ways, are ways of peace and pleasantness, and all her paths are peace. So friends, let's make sure that we carry the memories of those we've lost firmly in our hearts. And let's be brave. Let's pay close attention. Let's do the work that we are called to do to save every life that we can from the ravages of the American gun violence epidemic. And let's remember that not only was this the 12th gun violence massacre in an American house of worship in 3 years when that happened. This is also anti-Semitism incarnate. We are called to be vigilant on both fronts. And I hope that you'll join with me not only in paying attention and paying tribute, and as Penny has shared, there's a special that HBO has created about the Tree of Life massacre. Let's also do our work in the world, friends, and save as many lives as we can. We are called to do that, nothing less. Toward that, let's learn some Torah today, because this parsha calls our attention very clearly to what human beings are capable of doing. You might remember, since we're in Parshat Noach, that at the very end of the flood epic, the journey that Noach and his family and the animals went through, this was the way it ended. God places a rainbow in the sky and says, never again, right? Never again will I do such a thing. Never again will I doom the earth because of humankind. This is Genesis 8, chapter 8, verse 21. In Hebrew, Lo ausif lekalel od et ha'adama bavur ha'adam. I won't doom the earth again because of people, since the devisings of the human mind are evil from youth. Nor will I ever again destroy every living being as I have done. It's very powerful because God, in advance of the flood, the text says, Vayinachem el libo, God regrets. God regrets. What does God learn? The more important question, friends, is what do we learn? What have we learned? God says, I won't doom the earth because human beings are wired with the potential to do wrong. You and I know that's true. We are called right there in the immediate following verse, be fruitful and multiply, fill the earth. Let the fear and dread of you not be something that causes destruction. We are allowed, starting in the aftermath of the flood story, listen to this. The fear and dread of you shall be upon all the beasts of the earth and upon all the birds of the sky, everything with which the earth is astir, and upon all the fish of the sea. They are given into your hand. Every creature that lives shall be yours to eat. As with the green grasses, I give you all these. That's how chapter 9 begins. Think about how these verses reflect what God has just said. And again, all of us have different ways of approaching the text. All of us have different ways of approaching God. And in the aftermath of such devastating losses we experienced 4 years ago as an American Jewish community, I would not ever venture to tell someone else how to relate to God. During prayer in shul, these souls were cut down. While davening in shul. But the text that I just shared seems to say, it is at least one possible read of the text. You have the inclination in your human heart that I created, says God, to do wrong, and so I can't blame you for being who and what you are. I won't destroy the earth because you are human, but the question is, how will you channel that impulse within you, the power to do great good or great wrong? How will you channel it? Will you amplify the violence by picking up weapons against each other? Or will you find the strength and channel it? Eating meat, by the way, is a very interesting way of understanding human evolution. Eating meat only begins after the flood and after God's acknowledgement of the violence that a human being can do. Perhaps there are ways of channeling latent violence that is within the human community. We dare not pretend otherwise. And as American culture continues to struggle with the scourge of gun violence, and the American Jewish community continues to process what it is to have power that we never had, not before the State of Israel and not since the emancipation, have we ever had such full participation in a society, and in that society experience a surge of anti-Semitism unlike anything seen in decades, maybe in a century, in American soil. So friends, I want to call us forward with our wounded hearts, to be moral agents of God's mission. And I could say those words and be a very dangerous person, so let us really think long and hard before we use language like that, or do anything because of our belief system. If I believe I have more God than you, I'll go get a gun. And if I think that the world is rallied against me, I'll get a gun. But when I do not enforce mindful practice on a societal level when it comes to guns and weaponry, we end up with massacres and easy access to firearms, which lead to massacres like the one we are marking today. So friends, this week we learn Parshat Noach, the destruction of all living things. This week we remember. But we dare not only remember the devastation. Perhaps the most important thing we can do is to remember that even God learns in the aftermath of such a thing. And that what disappointed God so much in the first place was human cruelty. Perhaps we can learn from all of these messages synthesized in our own processing of the Parsha, that we dare not ignore the capacity of humanity to do bad. And we dare not ignore that even God learned how to do better. So let's take these moments, friends. I'm going to say the names of our sisters and brothers who we lost today, and bless us to do good in their name today. May the memories of Joyce Fienberg, Richard Gottfried, Rose Mallinger, Jerry Rabinowitz, Cecil Rosenthal, David Rosenthal, Bernice Simon, Sylvan Simon, Daniel Stein, Melvin Wax, and Irving Younger be for a blessing. May we do good today in their names. Amen. Let's sing our way into a good day, friends, and we'll see each other tomorrow. you tomorrow, friends.